Hello there everyone, welcome back to some more Final Fantasy XIII. What? When I got this game, I got the Steelbook version of this game because I was so excited for it because I never played a Final Fantasy in a long time. And I really didn't like 12. And I saw 13's trailers and I was like, oh, this looks sick. I'm going to play the shit out of it. And then I saw the reviews for it and everyone was like crapping on it and I got really upset because I actually kind of liked the game. But then again, it's definitely not the best Final Fantasy there is. It's just... It speaks to me in a certain way, and I like it a lot. So this is our next big playthrough. It's going to take me a long time to actually get through it all, but we're going to try our best. And I hope you guys enjoy the ride with me. So without further ado, I've already set up things in the settings like auto battle being the default thing. Target selection is from a list, which I like. And having it so that the person who talks... Hang on. Where is it? Yeah, there. Having it so the person who talks is on, so that you can see the person's name. It's important. It's useful for me as well. So let's get started. Let's do it. Normal mode, obviously. What do you think this is? Amateur hour?
The 13 days after we awoke were the beginning of the end.
You serious?
Be quiet.
Best of luck. She did it! Hands high! Freeze! You alright? I'm not a Lassie. So far, so good. They all want to fight.
Good for them. Give me that.
What the... Run! I've been away!
The first thing I'll say is that this game, obviously not in-game, it looks not quite as good, but in the cutscenes is fucking incredible. And the actual graphics when I saw them for the first time on PS3 kind of blew my mind, because Square's always been pretty good at pushing a console to its theoretical limit. They did it with FF12 on the PS2, and this game, for a PS3 game, looked really, really good. Especially the texture quality, I'd say, on most of the characters looked like super nice.
What do we do?
Watch and learn.
You can tell by some of the environments that it's not like a modern game, but it's still really cool. I don't need the tutorial. Basically, active time battle is the game. Most people's complaints to this game is that essentially it plays itself, and this is not untrue. In the beginning, it's fairly obvious that that's what the game's doing. It's just playing itself. All I do is press attack, and it does it. But I like the fact that I don't have to think about what I want to do, and the game goes, "This is what you want." But it does give you the choice to set your own targets if you want.
Fall back.
Not so tough now, huh? Hey, that wasn't like a challenge now, all right? Hey! Time to go! I'm coming!
Heads up.
This thing won't give up.
Saz is probably my favourite character in the game. I love him to death. He's great. Right, so here he is again. There's a bar in the top right corner that fills up to 300%. I wouldn't worry about that right now. You don't need to know about it. Essentially, I can't do anything to influence it anyway. So Lightning's in yellow health. We'll probably have to heal, but maybe not. Depends on how good the RNG is to us. Again, right now, there's really not a lot of like strategy I can employ besides smacking the button and hoping that I kill them fast enough. If lightning dies, the game ends. By the way, if at any point your like leader dies, the game just ends. So you have to make sure you have a target set to the person who's going to survive the longest. So here's a rating system. We have a target time, which is 2 minutes and 6. We started with normal initiative because we didn't get a preemptive strike. We took 1 minute and 8 seconds and we got 191 points per second, which gives us a score which is fairly arbitrary. Doesn't really do anything. I'm also downstairs again, so if the mic sounds different, that's why. Bye. Tell my Warmech wife I love Turner.
Oh, goodness. Woo. We did it. Hey. Aren't you supposed to protect civilians, soldier? I mean, you are Sanctum, aren't you? What are you doing trying to stop the purge? Why don't you tell me that?
I was a soldier.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Man. Chocobo, we just can't catch a break, can we? Yeah, that's a good question. Oh well. Better follow her. I'm getting too old for this.
Some text still doesn't get displayed because it's like subtitles. You could put subtitles on and it displays everything, but then the screen can get a bit spammy while everyone's talking. I like my my axis to go like this. Left is left, right is right, but down is up and up is down. That's how I like the camera to be. But you can see in the bottom left corner when people talk, you can read it. So if I talk over it by mistake, it's not the end of the world. let's go into settings and see if I can... Yeah, you can have event subtitles on. There are ways to get him to say, like, for you to see all of his text. Can't remember what it is, though. Let's go to our equipment. If you think I'm playing FF13 too, you got another thing coming. Also, this is like one of my favourite things in the game. This animation that plays every time the menu goes back and forth. Why do I like it? Who knows? I just do. You can see people's stats. This will become more relevant later on. We also have an inventory of potions. We have access to the unicorn knife, a survival unicorn mart, survival knife, Gravcon unit, and a data log. The data log, for those who are interested, basically chronicles everything that happens in the game, and also gives you basically all the lore. You don't get a lot of lore in the actual game itself, so if you like reading, you can read about the lore. I'm not going to do that, because I'm going to let the game do its best to explain itself. And if that's not enough, then that's not my fault. Many and various enemies stalk the roads they must travel. Upon entering an enemy's detection radius, the minimap in the upper right corner of the screen will flash in warning. Bringing into contact with any enemy will initiate a battle. I'm playing the game in 4K. Not that matters. But I'm playing the game in 4K. And obviously it's scaled down for 1440p for you guys. Hopefully it looks okay. It looks alright on my preview. These guys are really easy, so not much big deal. But that's why the game expects you to kill them in like 19 seconds. I won't always be getting 5 stars as well.
What do you suppose this is?
You know? You can also get Lightning's camera. If you try and look up her skirt,
Toys out now?
he gets upset. Find a way to look up her skirt. Tries to stop you from doing it. She actually knocks the camera out of the way. Which is pretty neat.
Fixing to dish me already, huh?
No, I'm not. Those little blue circles let you know that you can jump around the environment. It's handy.
Get a nod? I'm sticking with you.
Some games wouldn't do that. Some games just want you to jump around and try every wall, even though they look the same. And although the walls look the same in this game, they do tell you that one's climbable and one's not, with a little circle. But my immersion. Well, I think things... Immersion's okay, like really important, but I think conveyance is more important. And conveying something to the player in a useful way makes me not mind about the circle not really fitting in the universe. Like, why is there a blue circle there? It doesn't bother me. There are also red circles that indicate things you can interact with, like switches and stuff. But this goes a little bit stronger. If I wanted to go for pure speed, what I'd probably be doing is blitzing right now. As long as they're both in range. He wasn't, but as long as you both get in range, you can hit both enemies at once, and that's faster. This will be slower because I wasted a lot of time blitzing one guy, so I probably won't get 5 stars. Oh no, I did. Okay, cool. You may have noticed that I went to yellow health. In this game, as soon as you finish a fight, you go back to full health. Which is interesting for balancing, because it means that you only ever have to survive one fight. That also means that fights can be hard enough that you may not survive one fight. And the game does get pretty difficult, especially the optional stuff, which I may or may not do, depending on how much I fancy being upset. But I got a potion. There we go. There are also some sweet cheese strats in this game. But mainly cutscenes.
Not wanting to get purged, I get. But taking on trained soldiers?
Better to die than get sent to Pulse. It's hell for the brimstone.
Yeah, well, hell's not sounding too bad. Because this place ain't exactly paradise.
Domesticated peacekeepers. Nothing to worry about.
Maybe not for a soldier girl, but I'm trying to say, hey!
So I'll give you some complaints that people have about this game. People say it's basically...
Gotta fight again, huh?
It's basically just Lightning as female Cloud. And therefore her character is not very interesting because she's essentially the same as Cloud. I can get that. I understand it. I don't know that I agree. But I think that in the beginning she's certainly like Cloud. She's a soldier like Cloud. Ex-soldier like Cloud. Gets upset about what's going on like Cloud, and then something else happens, but that's not like Cloud. She does have growth. Anyway, you notice that this doggo gets staggered when the bar on the top right fills up. Stagger means you do, is it twice as much damage or 1.5 times as much damage? I don't remember. But you do more damage. You can also knock people into the air when they're staggered. You can juggle enemies in the air, which is really cool. And my idea for this playthrough is that I'm going to use characters that I never use. Because there's like 7, off the top of my head, characters in the game. Maybe 6, I think 7. And I'm going to use characters that I never use. That's a preemptive. Because I ran behind... In this game, if you run behind an enemy, you get a preemptive. And the preemptive is really good because you get almost instant stagger on them. His stagger would have ran out because I didn't hit him. I could have hit him and staggered him as well. But this guy's easy enough that it doesn't really matter. And I'm recording these on Thursday because I'm going to the Isle of Wight on holiday on the weekend. I need the holiday, and it would be good for me, I think. But I'm going to do that. So I'm recording these in advance, which I don't usually like doing. I got a bangle of some kind. I didn't actually look at what it was. Oh, it gives me more health. That's actually supposed... I think that should go on Saz. Forgotten an equip button. Or do I have to... Oh, here we go. Because I like Saz to be my tank. He already has more health than Lightning, so we might as well just bolster that even more. And make him strong. Able to take a beating in the face, basically. I can't change who my leader is right now. But when I can, I will change it to Saz. It won't be for a while. And it won't be while I'm just with these two either. The thing to remember in Final Fantasy XIII as a little gameplay tip is whenever you spawn anywhere, because this game is basically a bunch of corridors all in a row, which is another thing people have a problem with. There's no world map or anything, it's just corridors. That started in FF10, and FF15 kind of fixed that, I think. I never played it, so I wouldn't know. But that's what I think. And so yeah, you basically just walk down corridors. And therefore, whenever you spawn in a new corridor. You look behind you, because there's almost always a chest. Square have this thing where they just love putting chests behind corners and walls where you spawn.
Rebels. So much for the element of surprise.
So she's trying to tell you that you can go behind people to preempt them, but we fucked it up. You can't do that with a preemptive. The game just sort of is trying to teach you. Right. You can use items in combat to heal. Potions in this game are actually really good because you can heal for 150, I think, for everyone in your party. I'll actually have a look in a minute. So I may be lying to you again. It's a small amount of HP. I'm not going to do it until I actually need it. But it should be fairly obvious that they heal HP potions. And they are pretty effective. And that's a plane.
Do we turn back?
There's no time.
Then what do you suggest we do?
Quiet.
Hey! Wait! No, don't leave me!
Let go!
The hell no! You're my only way out of here! No, Hey, that might get us across. Right there. Right?
Looks that way.
There we are. So Saz doesn't want to be left behind and just clings onto her. Not the best of ideas, but I think Lightning, at this point in her character development, probably would have just left him. To be completely fair. Like, fuck you, old man. I'm out of here. I think Saz is like 40 years old. Got one of the oldest Final Fantasy protagonists. Besides Sid, of course. See, this is like Blitz not being very effective. But that was a good blitz. It hit 3 people. When I hit things and it only hits 1 person, that's no good. But we're both in like yellow now. Saz has obviously got a higher yellow threshold because he is able to take more damage before dying. But like I said, Saz can die. It doesn't matter if Saz dies. All these bad blitzes are going to cost me in the long run. Right, he's on red now, so he might die, but that Pantheran is dead. Now we just have to kill the Warden. 2 more hits or so will probably do it. There we go. But we still got 5 stars somehow. That was really bad, but there we are.
Hey, this way. Come on.
You also heal at save points, but you don't need to because you heal anyway. I imagine you probably would have healed at save points if you hadn't have healed in between fights. Like also FF10. Some people have problems with every element of this game. I don't think it's unfair. Some people have problems with the character development, some people have problems with the fact it's all corridors, some people have the problem with the fact the world's not very interesting and the lore's all in data logs.
Deportees, are we? Weapons down. I hate for this to turn ugly.
Turn ugly?
He wants to kill us without a fight.
And they made 3 of these games. But I do believe that they got better with every one. FF13 was okay, FF13-2 was slightly better, but worse in some ways, and then Lightning Returns I never actually finished because I kind of missed the trick. There's a trick to that game, where it becomes a lot easier if you actually do what you're supposed to do. But because I'm an idiot, I didn't do that. Right, we want to kill these guys as quickly as possible, so that's why I'm doing this. There we go, he's dead. Right, now we're going to focus all our efforts on killing the Marauder. He's just a big boy with lots of health, that's all. Nothing special about him. However, if we can get him in the air, he'll be pretty easy to kill. Or at least stagger him so we can start. Another thing stagger does is you stun lock enemies. They can't hit you because you're constantly hitting them. If I'd have got that attack off, I would have shown you. I knew that he was going to hit Saz, so I tried to hit triangle to cancel my second attack so she'd act faster. I wasn't quite quick enough. We'll try again. There we go. Now when Saz shoots him, he'll die. That's a little way to improve the speed of fights very slightly. And I mean slightly. But if it's the difference between taking 3 hits to kill someone and taking 1 hit, that's all you really need.
What's your angle? What? Classified military info? Hmm? What's the matter? You quit, didn't you? Did you think I'm gonna go out there and just tell everybody your secrets?
See. My angle. I'm after the Foul Sea. Still happy you tagged along.
Didn't have a choice.
On behalf of Cocoon citizens, I would like to thank our brave false pioneers and express our best wishes for a successful relocation. Your noble and selfless sacrifice ensures the continued safety and peace of our society. Were it not for this remarkable gesture, every resident of Cocoon, your family, your friends, your neighbors, would be exposed to the dangers of the world below. By choosing to leave Cocoon and participating in this migration,
Migration? More like extermination.
Huge. You stay here.
So sorry. I didn't mean to.
These people need heroes. Here. You keep your cool, and they will too. You got it? What's our motto?
The army's no match for Nora.
That a boy.
Oh, great. I get to play as Snow. Oh, boy. He's like the quintessential anime protagonist, and therefore he's not my favourite character. But I will be using him, because I usually never use him since he's not my favourite character. So any chance I have to use Snow, I will take it, unfortunately.
You didn't do anything wrong.
It's over. It's all over.
I don't want to die. I should have fought back.
One thing I like about this game is that they all have, like, they all talk with each other. They just have little voice lines. There's loads of little voice lines in this game where people just talk to one another. Characters that have no bearing on the story, they're just chatting.
This is crazy.
Then take a nap.
Really? Can I?
Sure. And when we're taking a dirt nap, you can save them all.
No, that's even worse.
No dirt naps today. We're all in this together. Our enemy's the Cocoon Sanctum. Their dreaded SciComm, no less.
What's the dread? SciComm's nothing but a whole bunch of bluster and bullying. They've got nothing on Nora.
Well, we are the heroes after all.
Let's prove it.
Yeah.
So we have no. We can't look at Gado or LeBro because they don't have. I don't think they have these intros like that, so they can't display them. Why is she wearing literally like a bra and a mini skirt and stockings? Who knows, dude? Who fucking knows? I guess they needed to sex up the game for some reason. Maybe for the 12-year-old boys who want to play it. I don't know. Like, look. What is this outfit?
Wrapped up and ready.
To fight people with guns in. If she's going to dress like that, she should have like 42 HP and die in one hit to everything. For my realism. Please. Of course, Snow's wearing a frickin' trench coat. Oh yeah, look at my trench coat and my bandana. I'm the hero, yeah. I'm Snow.
Clear a path out of here.
Fucking Snow. Please. No one's worse than Tidus though, so I can let it go. Tidus is the actual worst. Hand grenade is Snow's version of Blitz, and it's dog poo. You almost never want to use it. It hits so slowly. Blitz at least hits fairly quick. But hand grenade is just poor nonsense.
There are soldiers everywhere.
Yo, boss. What's the plan?
Charge in, guns blazing.
Hey, that's not a plan.
Real heroes don't need plans.
Categorically untrue. First of all, like, definitely you do need a plan. Like, absolutely you do. Otherwise, what are you gonna do? When everything goes to shit, you're like, well, heroes don't need plans. Feel heroes. But get someone to shoot him. There we go. Right. You can also do that as well. Your allies will generally attack the same person you attack. So if you just leave the menu open, they'll attack someone you want them to kill, and then you can go in and hit the other one. And that's also faster.
Same plan as always.
This isn't a speed run, but there's little
Hit 'em again.
things you can do to optimize your movement and attacks so that you do things quicker. And that's just better for me. I just like that more. Right, this should hit 3 of them. I think. Maybe. One good thing about Snow is that in the early game, he hits really hard.
How about this?
Because his attacks are fairly quick. You just go like, bang, bang. I think he attacks, besides Saz, maybe the fastest in the game. there's another character later on that's also fairly quick. I'm going to do this playthrough as if no one's ever played the game before. So I'm going to try not to spoil things that I know happen and like characters' names and things like that. That's why I only talk about Snow, Saz and Lightning right now, because they're the only characters we know about. Obviously there's Gado and LeBro, but the fact they have question mark HP and don't go on the menu probably give you a hint as to the fact that they aren't permanent characters. As to why they aren't permanent characters, I'll let you find out.
You all okay? Hey, careful with those. Don't worry. No one's moving to Pulse today. We'll clear you a path out of here, so be ready
Wait!
to...
Let me fight with you! You can't expect us to just sit here!
Could help.
Yep. Please, let us help!
Okay then. Volunteers front and center.
Here, take this one. Here you go. And one for you.
Count
Go
me
for
in.
it. Here's yours. Take care now. Mom?
Don't worry.
Huh?
So I just
Hold it
pulled
steady.
here. Yeah, feels good.
Yeah, nice.
Can you show me again?
You got it.
That's how it works.
You sure?
Yeah. Moms are tough.
Right.
It's the last one, boss.
All right, last one. Somebody take it.
No.
Yeah.
Push comes to shove. Keep him safe.
First impression of Snow? All talk.
All right, lay low and you'll be fine. We'll clear out the area. We're going home together!
Come on! Everybody up!
Right. New recruits, on me!
Come on.
Time to go, kiddo.
We're not losing to SciComm, you hear me?
This'll be a piece of cake.
Iron Bangle? Don't mind if I do. Snow's literally the only one I can give it to. Like I said, I can't get into their menu, so...
Stay sharp. Don't want to make their job any easier.
Sorry, boss.
Here we go. Get fought, son. And as for Vagrant Story, because I know someone will think like, wait, what about Vagrant Story? You gonna finish that? Yes, I will. But because again, I'm going on holiday, I need to make sure they've got videos ready. And Vagrant Story, because I don't know what I'm doing in that game, is going to take me quite a while, and I have to edit it and sort it out and all that stuff. So there's going to be stuff I need to sort out with that playthrough.
Back us up.
But it shouldn't be too hard once I figure it out. It's just when it comes to blind games and me, I'm fine playing things I don't know what to do in, but I also don't like being made to look like I'm a fucking awful, if I can help it. So that's why I tend to do things that might seem a bit strange when it comes to playing games that are blind, because I'm very self-conscious, which is not necessarily a good skill for this line of work. If you can even call it work. Luckily, Gatto and LeBro are quite good at killing things quickly. Probably better than Snow, to be honest. But then he is trying to punch people with guns with his fists, like Zell. Gunblade, Shuriken, or Tonfa, or whatever. Or Nunchaku, that's what it is, Nunchaku. Fists.
Heroes don't run from fights.
Also untrue. You've got to know when to pick your battles. Sometimes it's necessary to go, you know what, I can't win this fight, but I'll get stronger and win next time.
There's nothing we can't do.
This is why I don't really like Snow. In the first, like, 4 hours of the game, he says at least, like, 20 different things that are just categorically untrue. Like, not even close to being true. Obviously incorrect, you know?
We gotta win this.
So I don't know that LeBro uses our potion reserve, or whether she just has potion as a skill. She probably uses our reserve, to be honest. You should hopefully kill this behemoth before it gets its chance to do massive damage to me. But I think this is like a weak, low-level behemoth that can't do its special moves. Because the behemoths eventually get weapons, like swords and axes and things. And when they get them, they're doing like 3,000 damage to you each hit. It's no good. This game also suffers from a disease that has plagued many RPGs. Like inflation of numbers. All the numbers are times by 10 for no reason. Like you have 10,000 health instead of 1,000, and you do 100,000 damage rather than 10,000.
No kidding. Stay down.
I think it's just to make you look more powerful than you are. See, that was pure luck and then unluck. Who thought... Why did you think that was a good idea? I don't understand, Snow.
I told you, didn't I? Moms are tough.
That would suck dick to be on that.
Get him home. Please.
Hold on.
I think she may have already been dead from the explosion before she fell.
Come on! We have to move!
Right.
Is the terrible fucking twosome as well. Jesus Christ. I mean, Saz, Lightning, and Snow are okay. These two, can fuck right off. Yeah, I'll save, why not? Here's my final chapter save. 63 hours. Not bad. I better not save over that. I will be very displeased if I save over that save file.
It's an out-and-out massacre. Those people won't even live long enough to die on pulse.
That was the idea.
What?
Sanctum logic. They conjured up the purge to eliminate a threat. I mean, why carry the danger all the way to Pulse? Why not just stamp it out here? Execution masquerading as exile. That's all the purge ever was.
Relocation to Pulse. How does the government get away with pulling crap like that? And you knew this was gonna happen?
The purge was SciComm. Private Sanctum troops, not the Guardian Corps.
SciComm, Guardian Corps. Soldiers are soldiers, aren't they? Pulse Foul C and their lessee are enemies of the state. Tell a soldier to kill an enemy, and you really think it's gonna matter what uniform he's wearing?
Might have mattered to that one. Couldn't shoot. Got himself shot instead.
How about you? Order say shoot, you pull the trigger? Fine. Forget I asked.
Wait. What?
These things always reminded me of weird crustaceans. Beetle, crab, shrimp thing. Myrmidon. They also have aquatic names, so I guess they are supposed to be like crustaceans. See, aren't you glad I gave Sads the HP now? He'd be feeling the burn otherwise. But literally, like, the best strategy in the early game is just to keep hitting them. And the game is balanced around me just keeping hitting them. If I don't, I'll die. Right, get him to... There we go. I interrupted him, so he doesn't attack. There we go. Now he's died. There we go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. That's why we interrupt. Because that's the good shit. Saz didn't take any more damage than he needed to. Mission complete.
What's that? Huh?
Attention, purge deportees. Attention, purge deportees. Put down your weapons and surrender immediately. Your removal is the will of the people of Cocoon. Should you attempt to flee, the Sanctum will employ every resource necessary to bring you to justice. This land is no longer your home. Cease hostilities and surrender at once.
How the fuck did Snow survive?
Sarah!
Just what you were looking for.
Yeah. Right in there.
The Pulse Foul C.
How long do you think until we get games that actually look as good as pre-rendered cutscenes in the game?
We'll be okay.
Mom.
Here. It's too much, isn't it? Face it later. Ciao!
Hey, wait!
These two drive me
You said
insane.
it made you happy when I smiled, didn't you? But really, I was afraid. I was always afraid.
So, how do you figure that post-fallacy is different from the sanctums? All things being equal, I just as soon keep one.
Time to jump.
Yeah, I know. Hey, hey! Hey! Hang on! What the? Hey! Damn. She can do it, so can we.
I'd expect that field to be a little bit bigger. How do you know he's going to fall in that spot? I've made my look that I jump a foot too far and crush my ankles and die.
Come on, come on.
What about the others? They didn't die. They couldn't have died.
Of course not.
Hey, get a grip, man! What's wrong with you?
Get him home. Get who home?
Toss me that.
Catch.
Oh, I'd test it to make sure it still works. Yeah.
What are you doing?
So what are you afraid of, huh? You're supposed to be the hero. She's waiting there, ain't she? Your lovely bride-to-be? Isn't it about time you picked her up?
Yeah. There's our ride.
Now you're talking.
One thing I also like is that chests are in cutscenes. They're just there, floating up and down.
How could they?
Did you fancy a chest? Well, here it is. Next save point we're going to stop for today.
Everyone's
That's right here. Okay. I guess we can fight one more time. Here's a power circle. It lowers our defense, magic,
In there ain't gonna stop us.
raises our strength. But we don't care about that. We only care about that sweet, sweet fist damage. Fist them real hard. I mean, what? Nothing. When there's so many enemies, it makes hand grenades more useful. Or more viable. Like, look, this is going to hit all of them. Or 3 of them at least. This aerial recon A has been fairly lucky. And C. Oh, so apparently only hit 3 of them. Okay. Like I said, hand grenade, it's an okay move, but it's really not, like, that great. And the thing is, because their HP is question marks, even when they're, like, nearly dead, the game still thinks they're fine. They're like, yeah, it's alright. They're fine. They probably have about 300 health each. So the same as, like, Snow does now. Anyway, once they're dead. I have 400 health. Okay, they probably have about 400 then. I'm going to save and end the game now. This is how save points work. You can shop at them. You can also do things later on at them. But for now, we're going to end here. I'm going to say thanks very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Probably not a video tomorrow, that is in Sunday for you listening, but Monday I'll be back. Goodbye.